Right, time for your newspapers. Let's get into the front pages. And we'll start off firstly, as always, with the Mail and Guardian. And that's the weekly edition of the Mail and Guardian. Morero in the mire is what they're leading with. Godongwana puts pressure on the mayor to clean up Joburg's finances. So that's the story they take on there. Then environment, who owns the sun? Okay. Opinion, we've asked that question before. Eskom have said they don't own it, so yeah, wonder who does own it. Opinion, in therapy with my African father, and Friday, tailored ambitions at Fashion Week. And then finally, no longer invisible, Primrose gets her South African birth certificate. So that's the front page of the Mail and Guardian.
Moving on to the business day, leading with a lottery operator tender, ANC donor loses out. Conflict of interest finding scuppers Batu bid. Now, in a dramatic late-stage intervention in one of South Africa's most lucrative tenders, Trade, Industry and Competition Minister Park Stow overruled his own advisory panels by sidelining a bid that was backed by a consortium made up of ANC donor Batu Trust over a conflict of interest finding. And then a picture there of US President Donald Trump and Ramaphosa Trump have telephone talk about trade. President Cyril Ramaphosa held a telephone call with US President Donald Trump on Wednesday. The presidency said in a statement on Thursday the discussion was on bilateral trade matters. A picture there of Brevis keen to make a mark in Australia. Argentina make a case for SA optimism. A volatile climate weighs on farmers' minds. And now a video set to kill podcast stars.
All right, the Star is the next one, and they've got their big one saying hashtag racist banks must fall movement. A call for legislative action in South Africa. Debanking due to reputational risk violates the South African Constitution. And this is a movement in South Africa calling for the immediate legislative intervention in the wake of a US executive order designed to prevent banks from closing accounts based on political or religious beliefs. So, yeah, that's a deep story that they've got there as their big one. Health workers unite for Gaza amid worsening humanitarian crisis. And that's the main photograph there. And it's scores of workers from some of Gauteng's largest hospitals participated in lunchtime pickets yesterday, standing in solidarity with the beleaguered people of Palestine. And yeah, you saw that piece at the moment. And, these healthcare workers have indicated that the public health crisis in Gaza continues to worsen with increasing attacks on hospitals and healthcare facilities, if there are any available at this point. Gauteng faces ICU nursing staff shortages is the other story they look at. The Gauteng Department of Health coming under fire following revelations that the province's public hospitals have only 751 ICU nurses, less than half of the 1,760 needed to actually serve its population. So that's the big one that they focus on as well. And I'll leave it there with a business story. SAPI reports $33 million in loss in the third quarter 2025 amid market challenges.
Citizen leading with, are we losing this war? With a campaign after campaign on gender-based violence, it looks like nothing changes, and instead things are getting worse. As we head towards Women's Day tomorrow, murders of women and children, rapes and contact sexual offences are not going down. Harassment in the workplace occurs daily, and many employers do not take complaints of their female staff seriously, says an expert. Bucks itching to get going. Also, I won't stop, vows illegal miner. And my dog ate it. Rugby player Leroy Clark actually had his dog eat his passport after he was called up for New Zealand.
Okay, next one, the final one is the Sowetan Gauteng school guards in limbo is what they're leading with. Desperate security workers deployed to high-risk schools have not been paid in months, leaving them at the mercy of loan sharks. Gauteng Education orders their withdrawal after saying payment delays to service providers were caused by non-compliant invoices. And then the photograph there, what inspired Anthony Hamilton's collab with Zonke. This is Vusi Nova and Anthony Hamilton during a press conference in Sowetan ahead of their Women's Day concert tomorrow at DP World Wanderers Stadium. So let's leave it there. Those are the newspapers for today. Remember the SABC News website, sabcnews.com. All the stories and more on that site and our SABC Plus app. Do download it and keep it with you. Right now, though, let's get into the news at 7 with Sakina.